Melvo lit that shit bang.
Welcome back, everybody, to Crows of Judgment, and today we're going to be talking about why Disney Must Pay is trending on Twitter. Now, before we begin, please do me a favor, subscribe to this channel if you're not already subscribed, drop a like on this video if you watch it and you find it entertaining in any way, shape, or form. And remember, we're giving away 3 copies of Cyberpunk 2077 to our audience. All you have to do is become a subscriber and help us hit 1,200 subs. We just need 150 new subs by January 1st, where we will announce the 3 winners. It is on any platform of your choosing. Now, why is Disney Must Pay trending on Twitter? Well, this comment puts it up just perfectly. I have 2 of Alan Dean Foster's Star Wars books on my shelves. He deserves to be paid for them. So what's going on right now is Alan Dean Foster, he's written books for the Star Wars franchise and for the Aliens franchise. Now, one of those was owned by Lucasfilm. The other was owned by Fox Studios. Now, Disney has purchased both of them. And when they purchased them, well, their statement is, they acquired the rights, but not the obligations to his novel. If a publisher can break a contract by selling it to a sibling company, it could affect every writer. So essentially, when Disney purchased the rights to Star Wars and the rights to Aliens, what their argument now is, yeah, we purchased the rights, but we have no obligation to honor any contract made by that company, meaning that because Fox and because Lucasfilms sold the rights, Disney owns the books now, but they don't have to pay anybody royalties on anything that they did, which is absolutely fucking disgusting. Now, we have some other comments here. What the hell, Disney? Alan Dean Foster deserves the compensation agreed to in his contracts. Any writer does pay up. Dear goodness, this is horrifying. Not just for Foster, who of course is owed his royalties, not just for the other Star Wars EU writers who might find themselves in the same position. The point Cowell brings up is terrifying. So this was the statement from the Science Fiction Fantasy Writers of America. They put out this tweet. I have their statement. I have the letter from Alan Dean Foster to Disney directly. But before I get into that, what I want to do is actually go over to Alan Dean Foster's Wikipedia page. And the reason why I want to do that is this guy is not a bad person. He's not someone who's shaking Disney down for money. In fact, this was a statement he made about being a ghostwriter on the first Star Wars novelization. Here it is. When asked if it was difficult for him to see Lucas get all the credit for Star Wars, Foster said, not at all. It was George's story idea. I was merely expanding upon it. Not having my name on the cover didn't bother me in the least. It would be akin to a contractor demanding to have his name on a Frank Lloyd Wright house. What his statement there is, I was paid as a ghostwriter, I did all the work there, but it was George Lucas's idea, and my contract said that I wasn't going to be named on it. I'm perfectly happy. So he seems like a pretty stand-up dude. He didn't come out and say, oh, the Star Wars novelization did so good, I deserve all the credit. Nothing like that. Nothing like that at all. Now, this is from the SFWA. I want to read their initial statement about this and then read through his letter as well as what they are saying needs to be done by Disney as of right now. A message from SFWA's president, Mary Robinette Cowell. Last year, a member came to SFWA's grievance committee with a problem, which on the surface sounds simple and resolvable. He had written novels and was not being paid the royalties that were specified in his contract. The grievance committee is designed to resolve contract disputes like this. As part of our negotiating toolbox, we guarantee anonymity for both the writer and the publisher if the grievance is resolved. So what they're saying is that in their history of doing this, they try to come to some sort of agreement between both parties, and they don't then run over to social media, run to the newspaper, run to outlets and start dragging those companies, saying, oh, you see what they paid us, they did wrong, and then try shaking them down for more cash. Right? They're really just there to help out the writer and resolve these disputes when they arise. When it is working as president, I never hear from them. When talks break down, the president of SFWA is asked to step in. We do this for any member. In this case, the member is Alan Dean Foster. The publisher is Disney. Here are his words. So, they accompany that with this cute little drawing of an evil demonic Mickey. Dear Mickey, a contract is a contract. So again, Disney's response to all this is essentially that because they purchased the rights, they get to have the rights to the book, and they have no obligation to continue to pay royalties, which is terrifying. And I want to run a scenario by you, right? Let's say Disney, who is the parent company to a lot of different companies, buys the rights to Marvel and then says, you know what? We're going to send Marvel over to, I don't know, we're going to send it over to one of our other companies, right, that we own. And when they do that, that other company buys it out from Disney, right? And then Disney says, well, we sold it to them. They say, well, yeah, we bought it from Disney. We have no obligation to pay you any more. You're not owed royalties anymore because we sold it to somebody else. Now, then they can just go ahead and keep making money off of it, keep profiting off of it, and just screw everybody out of their what they're owed. Which is why that's a bullshit fucking argument. But let's see from Alan Dean Foster, because there's a lot of stuff in his letter that really does kind of break your heart. Dear Mickey, we have a lot in common, you and I. We share a birthday, November 18. My dad's nickname was Mickey. There's more. When you purchased Lucasfilm, you acquired the rights to some books I wrote. Star Wars, the novelization of the very first film, Splinter of the Mind's Eye, the first sequel novel. You owe me royalties on these books. You stopped paying them. So it does sound like, to me, they never have paid him, and they're just ignoring him, right? And we're going to get into that. When you purchased 20th Century Fox, you eventually acquired the rights to the other books I had written. The novelization of Aliens, Aliens, and Alien 3. You've never paid royalties on any of these, or even issued royalty statements for them. All these books are still very much in print. They still earn money for you. When one company buys another, they acquire its liabilities as well as its assets. You're certainly reaping the benefits of the assets. I'd very much like my minuscule, although it's not small to me, share. So he's not demanding more. He's not saying for all the bullshit you put me through, you owe me $1 million. Nothing like that. Just he's asking for the royalties he's owed. You know, for Disney, I think last year it took in like something like almost $70 billion. They can pay the man his fucking pennies. Jesus. that's taking great to just a whole new level. You want me to sign an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, before even talking. I've signed a lot of NDAs in my 50-year career. Never once did anyone ever ask me to sign one prior to negotiations. For the obvious reason that once you sign, you can no longer talk about the matter at hand. Every one of my representatives in this matter, with many, many decades of experience in such businesses, echo my bewilderment. So yeah, Disney as this major corporation tries to pressure people into signing an NDA, saying, yeah, once you sign it, we'll negotiate. And then, can you imagine if this guy signed the NDA, and then they said, yeah, we don't owe you anything. Oh, by the way, you signed this NDA, so we don't have to fucking talk to you. You can't say anything bad about us. Ha. Like... Can you just imagine how many people Disney has forced into signing an NDA with the promise that there would be negotiations, only to fuck them over like they're fucking over this guy? Oh man, that is just nasty. That is fucking nasty. Imagine how many more people like Alan Dean Foster there are out there that Disney has fucked over and has them on an NDA. You continue to ignore requests from my agents. You continue to ignore queries from SFWA, the Science Fiction Fantasy Writers of America. You continue to ignore my legal representatives. I know this is what gargantuan corporations often do, ignore requests and inquiries hoping the petitioner will simply go away, or simply die. But I'm still here and I am still entitled to what you owe me, including not to be ignored just because I'm only one lone writer. How many other writers and artists out there are you similarly ignoring? My wife has serious medical issues, and in 2016, I was diagnosed with advanced form of cancer. We could use the money, not charity, just what I'm owed. I've always loved Disney, the films, the parks, growing up with Disneyland TV show. I don't think Uncle Walt would approve of how you are currently treating me. Maybe someone in the right position just hasn't received the word, though after all these months of ignored requests and queries, that's hard to countenance. Or as a guy named Bob Iger said, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. I'm not feeling it. Alan Dean Foster, Prescott, Arizona. So yeah, this guy was born in I think 45, 46. he has cancer. His wife has medical issues, and Disney is just screwing him over. This is from the president. In my decade with the organization, the fact that we are forced to present this publicly is unprecedented. So too are the problems. The simple problem is that we have a writer who is not being paid. So yeah, I mean, I can't remember ever seeing SFWA put out these public statements about companies demanding that they, just pay what they owe. And the fact that it's Disney of all people, like, how much money is it really to Disney? You owe the man. You have his contract. You bought out. You bought it out. You bought out these books. You're still selling them. You have to pay the fucking royalties. This is such a bullshit thing to be doing. And Disney, a multi-billion-dollar company, doing this shit to people, taking in billions of dollars each year, screwing over this one writer is just disgusting. Now, this is the statement from the SFWA. They made it very clear that Disney either needs to pick one of these three options. Pay Alan Dean Foster all back royalties as well as any future royalties. Publication ceases until new contracts are signed, and pay all back royalties to Alan Dean Foster as well as any future royalties. Publication ceases and pay all back royalties to Alan Dean Foster. So either honor the damn agreement, stop publication, pay him what he is owed, and then negotiate a new contract, or pay him what he is owed and stop publishing the damn books, which I think is very fair, right? I think that's very fair. Disney owes this man his money. Disney should not be trying to pressure people with NDAs. And I'm sure that they're thinking, you know what? They probably have some fucking bean counters sitting in a back room. Soulless fucking soulless fucking goblins, right? Just back there saying, you know what? The likelihood that he will pass away soon versus, this isn't a very big thing right now. If he sues us, we can just fight him in the court. And honestly, I think it will save us like $20. Oh, man. Guys, if you can, share this story out. If you see anyone else talking about it, obviously share what they're doing, because this needs to be brought to the attention of as many people as possible. Let them know how fucking nasty and disgusting Disney is. I've talked plenty of how they shut a fucking movie next to a concentration camp. And now this, they're just heartless fucking goblins. I swear, heartless fucking goblins.
Let that shit bang.